Very good morning, traders. Welcome to this euro dollar and pound dollar video. My name is Chris from Elite Currency. And before we take a look at the markets, be aware of my ecs.SWAT method. It is based on simple wave analysis and trading. That's what SWAT stands for. It's based on proprietary indicators, moving averages, fibs, and fractals. If you're curious about how I analyze and trade the markets, check out this link for more information on that. Otherwise, let's take a look at the markets right now. This is the daily chart. And you can see that price is now testing an important key support zone, not only the bottom of the 21 EMA zone, but trend line as well, and the 61.8 fib golden ratio. So that is a very important decision zone, either for a bullish bounce and reversal like I'm expecting, or maybe a bearish breakout within a new trend to the downside, as others might be expecting. So very interesting to see. Now, if it does break to the downside, I would still be careful of basically the 78.6 fib. That could still be a bouncing spot to be aware of. But yes, if it does break down with a lot of momentum, it shows kind of corrective patterns, a continuation lower, in that case, is starting to become more likely. At this moment, though, I'm still favoring a bullish bounce. In any case, if it's going to bounce or break, certainly it has respected the 61.8 fib very nicely. You can see that the market sees that fib, is reacting to it, going sideways. So it certainly was a level to be aware of, and it makes sense that any shorts that were in here, maybe trading this ABC that I was discussing, basically aiming at the 61.8 fib made a lot of sense. Now, the next phase is, will price be able to break above the 21 EMA? That would confirm my bias, my analysis that price is going to break and move to the upside. But if it doesn't, I'm not trading it to the upside. So if it breaks to the downside, nothing is lost from my point of view because I didn't trade it to the upside. That's one advantage of waiting for confirmation. I'm waiting for that confirmation by price to move above the 21 EMA, either by trading the breakout, the first breakout, or trading the pullback and then continuation. I will trade one of the two or maybe both. Depends on how it breaks out. I don't know at this moment. I always judge that based on the breakout. And I don't know, of course, how it's going to break. I don't have a crystal ball. That depends on the breakout. But if it does break, I will certainly review the potential for trade to the upside, and I'll update that in our ECS Live channel. So that's something on my mind. Will it break? Now, I don't know. We'll have to see. At this moment, this is going sideways, and it's making it very interesting, what decision the euro dollar will make. But ultimately, yes, downside break to the 78.6 fib or up pullback continuation. One of those two is going to win. I'm leaning towards the upside, but time will tell. If it does move up, then this was an ABC. This looks like A, ABC for B, and up for C, for instance. That seems likely, with a target at around 115, maybe 114.50-ish. Somewhere in there would be the target to the upside. That's about it for now. Of course, keeping an eye on these daily candles will be important as well, to see, if for instance, if there's a strong bearish candle like this, or if there's a bullish candle like that. Of course, that will give some info about the direction as well. Now, keep in mind, by the way, that tomorrow is NFP, so that's non-farm payroll. It's very important, as far as if I remember correctly, at least, that will happen tomorrow. But that's, in any case, very important data point for the U.S. economy and the U.S. dollar, therefore. So that's going to have some impact on these two currency pairs, also the pound dollar. Now, pound dollar, looking at the daily chart, price has made a bounce at the previous bottom. So seems like it could make one more leg up, maybe to expand, like a wave A, B, C, something like that. A, B, C. And so that's one reason why I think price could make a bigger bounce. Now, there's also potential head and shoulders here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So that could be a reversal chart pattern. And also on a 4-hour chart, it looks like 5 waves up, and this to me looks like an ABC correction. So I think it's also the bouncing spot. Now the difference with the euro dollar is that the pound has been very weak. Actually, in ECS Live, I traded pound dollar, pound CAD, pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand was the one that worked out the best for me, but that's only because I made discretionary decisions on pound dollar, pound CAD. Unfortunately, otherwise those trades were beauties. If I would have followed the SWAT rules, actually, all three would have been wins. So capturing very nicely that pound weakness. So that's the main difference with the euro dollar, and that's why I think the euro dollar has more potential to the upside. But otherwise, I think it does look like a ABC, but the thing is that I wouldn't want to trade the pound dollar to the upside because the moving averages are aligned to the downside. For me, the pound dollar would have to really push up like this, make a pullback, and then continue before I would trade the pound to the upside. I don't want to trade the pound to the downside now because I did here, all right, but not now because it's so close to support. It's at the head and shoulders pattern, and if I add a fib from here to here, it's at the 78.6 fib. So not a good spot for downside. Here, yes, worked out very nicely. Very good SWAT trade. Nicely following according to the SWAT rules, very nicely. So, but not now. Either it's going to reverse, which is not interesting from my perspective. I would rather trade the euro dollar, or it makes some kind of correction and then continues, breaks this correction and continues lower. That would be something else. In that case, price is breaking the 78 fib after a bear flag, and then a downtrend continuation is possible and maybe likely down at least to the 88.6 fib for the moment. That would be the next target that I have in mind. But only after retracement, a mild retracement and continuation like that. If price for upside, I would need to price really to move up a lot, pull back and continue, and then things have changed. The parameters, the outlook, the wave patterns, the structure of the market of pound dollar is different, and I would look for upside. So at this moment, waiting for the pound dollar, waiting for more info. Of course, the alternative could be if price starts to fall like that. Obviously, if it breaks this bottom, then the bigger bullish scenario is out of the window for the moment. And I'll be looking for a pullback and continue down to 124. For upside, by the way, first target 128.50, but in reality, it can go up even to 130 if it's a bigger bounce on the daily chart, 130 or even 132. So there could be a lot of potential. But for the moment, waiting to see if price goes sideways and up, or sideways and down, or down like this, or up, pullback continuation. I'm not going to trade it until there's more clarity. But the downside trade on the pound dollar and pound CAD and pound New Zealand earlier this week all worked nicely and accurately with SWAT. More importantly, from my perspective at this moment, for the future, for today, tomorrow, of course, be careful of the NFP event. It could send the price both ways. An event like that has a big impact. But that set aside, for the moment, the euro dollar upside, from my point of view, has the most potential. It would only be for downside. I would only be interested if it moves down, bear flag, hits the 21 EMA, then breaks below it for further downside. All right, traders, that's it for now. Thanks for joining. Of course, if you're interested in more free info, analysis, articles, check out elitecurrency.com, and wish you all good trading. Cheers.